Poof. Hello, 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 ladies and gents. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I made it. I'm alive. Huh? Right, checkpoint. Wait, what? I'm doing continue though. What the hell? Sure. I don't remember where I left off. It has been a minute and a half. Let me tell you. Right. Oh yeah, Hayabusa. I can't believe I forgot I was playing as Hayabusa now. Long range kick. Oh. Level 5. Defense. That's more blocking. Oh, I thought it was an item box. Wait, what about up here? Any top secret stuff? No? Damn. All right. Man, I keep reading about how Twitch is apparently changing the way it counts someone as like a viewer. But I've yet to see evidence. Like everyone is posting like statistics and stuff, but like I don't think, I mean maybe Twitch is just not willing to say that something changed. That could be part of it. But there's a lot of talk about how apparently if you only lurk, you don't count. Which is crazy to me. You know, in my opinion, you know, like watching is watching. You don't need to chat to be a viewer. You know? It makes zero sense to me. How does this work again? There it is. The way you'd have to actually actively chat to count. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know how long you've been here, but my viewer count said 0 until you just said something in chat, and now it jumped to 1. So, you know, coincidence? I don't know. But no, apparently this is the word on the street, right? Like you need to chat like once every, I don't know how much minutes. You don't need to be like constantly, you know, blasting the chat. But unless you talk like, let's say once every 5 minutes, I don't think the exact numbers are known. Like you just stop counting. And people have been testing it, like bigger streamers, by just like sitting at like a steady number and then being like, okay, everyone who's been watching but has not said a single thing yet, everyone start putting messages in the chat, you know, just put one thing in at least. And then like suddenly their views jump by 20%, you know, like people who have like 600 viewers, they bump to like 900 like instantly. It's like, what the fuck? That could result in a 90% drop for most big streamers. I guess maybe it has to do with the whole approach to botting, because they've been trying to be a little more aggressive towards view botting, because I'm assuming it's hitting their bottom line in the sense that, you know, advertisers, they don't want to pay for ads shown to a view bot. You know, that makes sense. That makes sense. So I can see Twitch wanting to be like, okay, view botters, what do view botters not do? They don't chat. So let's just not count non-active chatters. That could be the logic, right? And I'm sure for a lot of big streamers, I mean, they must have noticed it. I think that's why it's a discussion that I'm seeing, like, amongst creators, if you will. Because I think a lot of people did notice, like, a sudden, like, 20-30% drop, just, like, instantly, one day to the other. Which I guess, like you mentioned, the most surprising thing would be that it's only like 20 to 30% that doesn't chat. Though, actually, if you think about it, if I look at my own behavior as a viewer, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really watch Twitch all that often myself anymore. You know, it's usually when there's an event or something, you know, like recently there was like a developer live stream from Guild Wars. I'll watch that if possible, you know, if I have time, like if I'm free, let's put it that way. But like endlessly just sitting in a stream and not interacting, like, I guess the point I'm getting to is, if a lot of people behave like me, which, you know, that's a question, but if my behavior is any form of indication, then, you know, I do a lot of my viewing of streamers on YouTube. And the only reason I would tune into the actual live stream on Twitch would be to chat. So maybe a 20 to 30% drop isn't that crazy, really. Okay, what's happening here? Do I need to do anything? This feels like an elevator that's not moving. What the fuck? I forgetting something about how this game works? And I cannot go back. It feels like the elevator should start moving, you know? The checkpoint's on the elevator. Save game stuck. Oh my god, it's actually here. Please work. Oh. I guess it was, but that's weird. Oh shit. Shot my baby. Did I get both? Yo. All right. And I'm being thrown in the deep end here. I haven't played since Monday, and it's like, all right, time for fucking purgatory. Yeah, I guess there's no better warm up than like than this. Purgatory. Man, I feel I'm going crazy. I feel like I read something today about DOA 7 happening potentially in the next decade or something. Hold on. I think it was on Noisy Pixel. Is that a fake website actually or a real one? It feels real, but it might be an Onion type situation. Because they did like an interview with here, head of Team Ninja. Is this real? Head of Team Ninja says there's a chance we might see DOA 7 this decade. That is that is fucking, that's rough. Oh, like that this decade, like before 2030. Fighting game fans are eating well, blah blah blah. So they did an interview with Yasuda from Team Ninja about how they're doing, you know, about Neo 3, that they've been busy going from Neo 2 to Strangers of Paradise, Wolong, Rise of the Ronin, and Neo 3. He said it might look chaotic from the outside, but it's not as chaotic on the inside. We have a goal of releasing one new title each year for players, even though each one is not made in a single year. Projects takes 3 to 4 years. Studio usually has 3 or 4 big names in development at the same time, and the pipeline is supported by a steady flow of graduates and experienced hires joining the team every year. Which, I mean, yeah, that's how that works. And then they asked about DOA. Is there a chance we'll see a new Dead or Alive this decade? Right now, there's no concrete plans, Yasuda said. That said, since we are trying to release a new title every year, this is something we need to think about at some stage. It could end up fitting into that overall plan, but nothing's been decided. We'll share the full interview next week, but when was this posted? Today. Wait, so they don't mention a year at all. Unless this is a bad translation, of course. Is there more about Neo 3? I guess we'll see the interview next week. Unless someone else did another interview. But that's what I saw. That it's like, well, we aren't working on anything, but you know, we might run out of... Isn't that how it kind of sounds? It's almost like, well, if we're in a pinch and we need to jam a little project in between there, that's when we'll get to DOA. That is... Dude, I am doom-pilled. I'm so far down the deep end with DOA. We're fucking doomed. Damn, all my money. Wait, I shouldn't buy everything. Playing as Ryu. I forgot I don't have infinite money. Let's get the attack increase. Okay, I wasted all my money. I kind of hope... Shit, I should have done that. I'll probably die anyway. Let's not waste our money. Let's just buy the healing thing and call it a day. I'll just get good. You know what I mean? I'll just have to get good. Anyway, I don't know when the interview was done. Or if they're lying. Because of course, you know how it goes with projects and things and you know, if it is in the works and they're not allowed to talk about it yet, they're gonna say they're not working on it. Right? That's how I feel it goes. Probably alongside the Neo 3 previews. Yeah, it's probably very recent, and it is disheartening to hear like, oh, we're not even thinking about it. You know, maybe in the next couple of years. That means by the time I'm fucking 40, we might have a new DOA. Basically, right? Which is, that's not cool to think about. Unless, again, they are working on it already and are not allowed to say anything about it. And, you know, because that's, again, that's how it goes. Same with movies, same with everything. It's like, oh, I don't know any, like, do literally this week, at the start of the week, what's his name? Fuck, what's his name? The guy who did the original Mummy. Brendan? No. Yeah, Brendan Fraser, right? He played the main character in the original Mummy movies. At the start of the week, on some interview show, they're like, hey, well, what if the Mummy returns, huh? And he's like, well, that would be wild, you know? I know there's a lot of fans, but, you know, who knows, you know? Nothing in the works, however, like literally a day or two later, confirmed there's a new Mummy movie coming. That's like, bro, that's how it goes, you know? As long as it's not official, deny, lie. Chop him up. Fucking pot. Go away, pot of greed. What the fuck? I was ulting, dude. I was ulting. Wolong guy said at the beginning of the year he doesn't know anything about Ninja Gaiden Project. We all know how that turned out. Like the most Ninja Gaiden filled year ever. Like, I don't know anything about that. Ninja Gaiden? Never heard of it. Arashaya. I guess we'll buy one of these. Maybe it'll be useful. Ow. Why is everything whiffing? Why is everything whiffing? Why is he not locking on? What the fuck was that? Infinite block? I will say I'm definitely missing my tools. You know? We unlocked quite a bit of extra help with Yakumo. You know, in terms of weapons and skills and stuff. Hayabusa doesn't have anything. You know? Guess I'll just have to spam more Izuna. Get the fucking teacup. No! Okay, they... What the hell? It followed me so far. Literally the only enemy I didn't want to target. There, finally he picks the one enemy I do want to target with that. Dude, when did those fucking things became so strong? I have to hit them quite a bit. Jesus Christ! How beefy are these fuckers? That's crazy. Okay, I guess wind attack doesn't do anything. I'm not seeing any limbs gone. Get the big ones, dude. Get the big one. I don't understand why they don't make it automatically choose stronger enemies first. I'm mashing triangle. He's not doing the fucking thing. That's crazy. 3? Oh my god. Dude. Dude. What? They weren't even loaded in yet. They literally were appearing mid-attack. Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to do anything when they're invisible for 5 seconds and they already can move and attack? That's crazy. They act... Oh my lord. That's stupid. That feels unintentional. Like, why would they do that? That doesn't make sense. We're gonna buy these because I think I can just fill my bar, blast magic, fill my bar, blast magic for the later things. Why is he not doing fucking... There we go. Huh? Wait, that's not obliterating me. I was dodging and holding block. Doesn't count. But that was a level 1. Why is it so long? Dude, how strong are these fuckers? Dude, when do they explode? That's crazy. What the fuck? Sometimes I want to know the rules of the game. It's like I'm holding block, dodging, then I held L2 to go into my item menu, and nothing happened. He just stood there, and then he died. Instead of, you know, I wanted to open the menu, use that magic thing, and then blast him with magic, but, you know, I kind of expect when I hold the button for the menu, it pops up, you know? Up until now, it kind of seemed like it just slowed down time for a little bit. But I guess there's situations in which the menu won't open, I guess. Okay, who is he attacking, dude? Where is he seeing all these enemies that I don't see? Oh, that's... and they do it on purpose. They made it on purpose that cheesy. You do the clash. You can't control that. I press attack. Enemy happens to press attack at the same time. But the clash stun locks you. Your animation is like, ping, you're stuck. And then the stupid shooty guys, they just insta-kill you. There's nothing you can do about that. That is a guaranteed setup for them. That's crazy. And you can't Izuna them? Oh, if you push them into the ground, they explode as well? That's cool. Let's get him. Get the big guy. Yes, good shit. I hate when nothing works. I see the exclamation point, I do the counter. He's just slashing away against something else. That's so weird. I feel like Yakumo's an easier character. Because he has a lot more attacks that have like giant sweeps. Which makes it easier to like catch a big enemy that's charging to do a big attack, like behind a couple of shitty small ones. Ryu can't get past him. He's like stun locked into hitting, you know, anything in front of his little toe, basically. Yakumo, you just swung the big fucking thing and you were Gucci. Why can I not Izuna these guys? And those shield guys are annoying too, because you can only hit them with like your blood attacks or whatever it's called for Ryu. But like, my character has a life on their own. You can't aim who you're gonna hit with it. It just goes for someone near you. What the? See, this is what I mean. That was literally the enemy the furthest away from me. Why would the game logic ever allow him to go there? That doesn't even make sense. What the fuck? Who hit me? Oh, the big guy isn't dead yet? Thought I had him. Where am I? Oh, what the fuck? I knew it, and still I was like, maybe I can hold block. No. Blocking does not work in this game. It doesn't feel like blocking actually prevents damage at all. Like, I'll just block. You know? I got like defense level 5. I can block like 9 attacks in a row or some shit. Don't try it. Just dodge. Blocking doesn't work. Dude, I saw like 5 orbs. Why is he not absorbing anything? Okay, I'm losing my fucking mind. I hit the fucking shield dude. He breaks down. Ready for obliteration technique. He's just gone. Where the fuck was he? I was trying to do the obliteration to be like safe from damage. He's just gone. Where the fuck is he? What the fuck is that? Why would he ever aim for that? Oh my god. Why is it that they fucked up the most basic shit? I'm mashing magic. Nothing's happened. What the fuck is... This game is pushing buttons I didn't know I had. That is crazy. I want to slap one of the developers in their fucking face, dude. How? Why is that? Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. This is beyond frustrating. I'm gonna be honest. I'm baffled. I've seen so many people complain about this game, and all those complaints I'm not seeing. But there's so much shit that happens to me all the time, and nobody's talking about it. And I feel like I'm going crazy. Like, what's up with the orbs? They do not behave the way you would expect them to behave. They feel random. Sometimes they hang around and you can absorb them. Sometimes they just fucking up in smoke. Sometimes you randomly start absorbing them, even when like you're doing shit. Like, it doesn't make sense at all, the behavior. Obliteration technique barely works. It's so weird. So often I see an enemy, he's like missing a limb, falling down. I'm like, easy, chop him up, right? Nope, doesn't work. I fucking launch him. It's like, what the fuck is happening? It's that kind of shit that I hate the most. Because I like... Dude, I'm autistic as fuck. I like rules to work the way they work. Alright, I don't like exceptions to rules. If you're gonna make it behave a certain way, make it behave a certain way. Or this thing. Who does it target? What are the rules of that thing's target? Because you can choose the target. But clearly, the game cannot choose either. It just picks whatever fucking is convenient at that point. Why didn't it absorb? See, this is what I mean. It doesn't make sense. Huh? Wait, I didn't kill him. Why did it explode? Can they manually self-destruct as well? I didn't know that. Man, this sucks. This sucks. This game would be a lot better if there were clear rules. How? You're not invincible using magic in this game? Am I just using too much past knowledge in this game that just doesn't apply because it's different devs? You are, but you know, it stops. Before you can move, they're like, yeah, you're gonna need, you know, this magic spell designed to use in the middle of combat, in the middle of a bunch of enemies. You're gonna have like a second of cooldown and you're just gonna be fucked. That's a good idea. I mean, maybe they think it's a good idea, who knows? Maybe they're like, there's a downside to it, you can't just use it. Did you fucking see that, dude? I am losing it. I'm literally sliding in a direction. I press the attack button. He fucking attacks that way. Brain dead shit, dude. How is that even possible? How? There's one enemy. A single one. Why are you not aiming for him? That doesn't make any sense. Out of range. Please don't fucking do this, all right? You're gaslighting me. Literally not even a minute ago, he fucking auto-aimed directly at one of those fucking flying lanterns, way out of range. He blasted past like 5 enemies to catch the one on the other side of the screen. Way out of range. It whiffed completely, but he fucking auto-aimed for it. He could fucking auto-aim at the big guy in the middle, alright? That is crazy. I think it's worse. I don't think there is a logic. I just think it fucking does whatever. I don't think it aims. I think it just goes in a direction and hopes for the best. That is my assumption, actually. There we go. It works. I'm also very surprised there's no like priority list when it comes to like ultimate technique. That's what my guess, like that's what I would do if I were to develop this game. Like ultimate technique would have, oh come on, I'm still in the middle of an anime. That is not, that should not be allowed. That is nonsense. I'm in the middle of the ultimate animation. What do you mean it kills me? I feel like you can't even make this shit up, what's happening on screen. This would be shit you'd send in as a bug, as a QA. Like, I don't think this works. Oh, come on. Did this fucker absorb the orbs while a cutscene is playing and I can't charge? Please. And that's cool. So, pressing pause while holding block and holding block while unpausing, there's a gap in blocking. That's sick. That is sick. Oh, that's a funny joke. I like it. No pausing allowed. I can see that. Yeah, that's the punishment for pausing. I get it. At least you can pause, unlike, you know, any From Software game. This is a doozy, and not because it's difficult. The game is making it very difficult to do what I want to do. Sure, that was... See, are you really gonna tell me that was out of range? There were like 5 enemies around me. He could have auto-aimed at any of them. Stop. Why is he not a... Oh. Huh? Please, 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 please. Out of range my fucking ass, dude. This game just doesn't make any sense. It's like on purpose he's picking the worst targets. That is crazy. It's happening so much in a row as well. Alright, how do you actually beat this guy? What's the strat? Just mash like this? I guess so. So I guess step 1 would be to quickly leave this place. Magic, magic. What the fuck? Why is he not magicking? Does magic not work like a couple of seconds after the stage switch? Hey, where were my orbs? Whatever. Maybe there were none, because he absorbed them again. Actually learned something new there. Be a perfect dodge, you also get the instant charge. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought I was only Uzuma up until now. I mean, you need to do a perfect dodge, which, you know, risky to try to force that one out. Oh my god, dude. You can't even move yet. That's crazy. You can't even move. Because, like, I guess how they make it is when it switches the stage, the game slows down, but your current animation is still playing. So if you're doing anything, like if you're in the middle of anything, the game just locks you in it. And you're just fucked. You kind of need to make sure you're standing still. Unbelievable. I'm mashing magic. He's not triggering it at all. Unless there's like an internal cooldown on magic and you can't spam it. That could be possible. Whew, this is tough. This is tough. What is happening, dude? I'm blocking, dodging, and everything's still hitting me. I also feel like the instant death thing is like not nearly triggering as much as with Yakumo. With Yakumo, it triggered all the time. With like Hayabusa, it's kind of rare. Like if it happens twice in like an entire run here, it's like a lot. It's not happening at all. So it might be a waste of a slot to equip it. Because you'd think it'd be useful, you're using those techniques all the time. Like way more than you would with Yakumo. But they just don't trigger. Like ever. And if they trigger, it's like on a small enemy. I haven't seen it trigger on like a big enemy yet. Maybe it like has like a sneaky nerf or something. Who knows? Who knows? What other options do we have? I guess I could go for like half damage from range attacks. Again, could be useful because those are like the most, you can't do shit about it. Someone shoots you from off screen with a fucking bomb. Nothing you can do about that. I already have a fucking... I have an attack increase. You don't notice that at all. I feel like I'm barely doing any damage. Wait, I have a damage increase by default? Dude, those big enemies are not dying at all. How strong are they? Maybe moderate is just not a lot. What is moderate and major? That is so vague. I think that item is kind of ass anyway. You're better off using Berserk. I feel like with Yakumo it was way better because you could do like the big round swings and you have a lot more chance to trigger it. That's what I'm assuming. Hayabusa's attacks are like focused on one enemy, maybe like an adjacent one if you're lucky. Yakumo would like slash everyone around him. So per singular attack, you had way more, you know, triggers on the stack. I'm playing Magic the Gathering again. All right, is this worth it? Moderate attack? Maybe major defense might be better. Go for a defense build. More defense increase. At low health. This is another one that I wish they were a little more clear. Because like, I'm technically at low health. Even when my health is full now, it's low health. So do they mean a certain percentage of your total health? Or a specific health value? Is low health like 50 health or whatever? That maybe this is on all the time. We don't know. It's too vague. Major defense increase at low health. Oh, maybe this one. Or orbs. So now we have Berserk. I don't know what it does with Hayabusa at all. Wow, I can't even move. I'm stuck. Dude, killing these guys is taking like a million years now. Oh, yeah. I don't feel the defense shit is doing anything. They still one-shot me, basically. See, why does he do that? That doesn't even make sense. Like, you can't explain that to me. You cannot. That is just bad development. I'm just gonna say it. That is just bad development. If there's 5 other enemies like kissing me, it should aim at them, not at like some fucking bozo way out of range. That doesn't make sense in the slightest. Why would you ever develop it that way? Damn, maybe Platinum did fall off. Shit. Maybe Platinum Games did fall off. That's crazy. Same as Yakumo, your gleams of... Yeah, I guess I worded it badly. I'm sorry. What I meant is, I don't know what those attacks look like. Because with Yakumo, like the insta ultimate kill, with certain weapons, it was like more of an AoE attack. With other weapons, it was like forward. I don't know what Hayabusa one looks like. I don't know if it's like an AoE or anything else. That's what I meant. I know what it does, obviously. Is there a list of my magics somewhere? Help? Help! What is it even called? Gordy? Is there any way to see it? Combat skills, perhaps? No? Wait, what? It's just any jump? That doesn't work for me. I guess we'll have to figure it out. Oh yeah, I have more techniques here. Spinning slashes. Oh, I forgot about this one. This one's actually good. It's AoE. That's what we want to see. Fireball. I know one of them is like the Phoenix. That's like the little fireballs around you. This is probably Void. I don't know which one's gonna be best. What the fuck? Wait, why did my bar go down? What the fuck is happening? Why didn't he... Okay. I guess that one was just a button check. Alright? That one didn't count. I don't think the game was functionally doing anything. It's crazy how this game, like... explains shit, but like doesn't explain anything. Like, how does block work? Like, what exactly can you block? Because it doesn't feel like you can block all that much. Because in the beginning they make it seem like you can block just about anything as long as it doesn't have the exclamation point. If there's an exclamation point, you need to counter it with a blood attack. Anything else is fair game, except I don't think it is. I'm getting hit all the time by shit. Why is my berserk meter not filling? Oh, I equipped the old items again. Sure, yeah. I guess I'm on the old build. Wow, you cannot dodge these guys. That is wild. Okay, what the fuck, dude? This aiming thing is so bad. It will be so much more funnier if it wasn't so ass, you know? It's kind of comical how bad this game works at times. And it all doesn't matter if the stakes aren't high. If it's just a normal, you know, normal mode, normal bosses, normal shit. Well, like in things like this where the stakes are a lot higher and like every move, every block, everything matters. Like then it starts to become obvious how shit a lot of these systems work. Unbelievable. Uh-oh, I'm stuck in the animation. I'm so dead. Actually, wait, what? No, wait, I'm dead. It is a kill the pig, dude! Okay, hold on. That's crazy. That's actually good. Unbelievable. Huh? This stage is a difficult one. The final thing is very difficult. Because these are like all enemies that ignore hit stun. They're like all quote-unquote big dudes. Or like a lot of them at least. Very annoying. Because even my like gleam attacks, I guess that's what it's called here. Hayabusa. Even they do not stun them. Very annoying. I guess I'll have to do like the 2 hits, run away, 2 hits, run away kind of deal. Can't stay hitting them for a long time in a row. Dude, we're not beating this at all today. Feel like I'm never gonna win. Major defense? I don't think it does anything. Major defense? I haven't seen any defense increase at all. Dude, I cannot believe this. Why are you aiming at... Sure, thank you. Sure. game is so stupid, dude. This game is so fucking ridiculous. Oh. The old games were perfect, but Jesus Christ. The inconsistencies are out of control. Wait, this is actually so much better. If he doesn't aim weirdly, you can actually target strong enemies. Actually something that works. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not obliterated. What is happening? Wait, can I? Where did this big guy come from? Oh my god, you cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. Kind of knew it. I kind of knew it. I was like, I'm not gonna use it to show off at the end. What if there's a number 4? I knew it, and I knew I had to keep the Berserk. Dude, normal Berserk is way better. For at least for these, right? For these kind of things, it's way better. Because, you know, if the game doesn't start randomly deciding, at least there's like some inkling of choosing who you're gonna insta-kill. Actually, wouldn't it be even so much better for Yakumo? Because I always went into like his ultimate. But Yakumo has so many attacks that have like the big AoE spears. If that auto kills every time in Berserk, that is so fucking powerful. Holy shit. Alright, I guess I'll have to do break time. Hey, we even got some health things left over. That's crazy. Yeah, come on, you sweep into... Oh, you can do the ult at the end too. That's right. I didn't even think about that. Man, I will say though, you cannot ignore it. There's so many instances where he just, like, you know, there might be times where you're like genuinely out of range and he just goes anywhere else. I get that. But there's been so many times where there's like multiple enemies really close and he just like whoosh, flies off to like some enemy, like usually the little fucking lanterns. He just flies off to them, can't reach him. And it's like, why isn't the game logic programmed in a way where if there's enemies within range for the ultimate, go to one of them. Like at the minimum, if you're not gonna do like a priority list of like stronger enemies first or most held first, or like some kind of logic to it, if you're not gonna do that and are gonna do some kind of random, at least do a random within the in-range enemies, and if there's none in range, fly to one out of range, who cares? But if there are enemies in range, he should not be going out of range to someone else. That doesn't make sense to me. That does not make sense to me. Anyway, let me take a small break and I'll be right back. Poof. We are finally back. Alright. I had to help a little bit with what do you call that in English? Like wrapping up the day, if you will, for the cats, you know? We tried to do like a little, I guess, ritual, if you want to call it. Like, you know, before we don't go downstairs anymore, because we keep them downstairs for now, and they also sleep there. We want to like make them tired, so we play with them until they're like tired, and then we give them like a little candy, you know, as a reward. And then we do like the whole spiel of like, you know, cleaning out the litter box, yada yada yada. Basically, you know, fresh and ready to go to bed. So, you know, I helped with that just now a little bit. Turn 4 Infinite Standard. Thanks, Yubi. I love how you hop in here and you're like, you know what's ass? Magic the Gathering, baby. And you're goddamn right. Goddamn right. Does anyone even play Standard, please? Like, we'll ban Vivi. He was an issue. There you go. Go play Standard. But also, here's new fucking bullshit. People will be playing this Standard format at Worlds. Yeesh. Man, feels good to play Grand Archive right now, because Grand Archive is in a great spot. The meta is what they call wide open. There's so many decks that can win. There's like a couple of favorites, of course, you know, that might be a little more consistent, but top 8s are like super varied. People are excited to play. New set is coming out like in 2 weeks. People are super excited. Ugh, unlike Magic. Evident might be dead, I don't know. I have not played Standard Evident. Like, if I look at my local gaming stores multiple, because there used to be one, but that's like kind of far away. They're you know, close to me, just opened a new one. And so far, all they are playing that I can see event-wise is Commander Knights and Pauper. I don't think... And that seems to be pretty consistent. Like, Pauper is being played a lot at local game stores because it's so easy and cheap to get into, which makes sense. And then, of course, Commander, because fucking Commander is everywhere, whether you like it or not. I don't. I feel like that's maybe my... I almost want to say hot take. I don't think it's a hot take. I don't think everyone likes Commander. It is the most popular format right now. I personally think it's a dog shit format. Like, I don't think it's good at all. Like, everything that makes Commander unique, in a lot of ways, to me, is like, well, I don't like that. It's like, you know what I like about Commander is that you have a commander, you know? like you have this main creature you can cast at any time, and it informs the colors you can use in deck building. That's the cool part about Commander. 100 cards? Dog shit. I don't know who thinks 100 cards is a good idea. It's fucking dog shit. I don't care what anyone says. 100 cards is so dumb. It's so stupid. It doesn't... Oh, I can feel a magic rant coming up here. I don't know. 100 cards, to me, is just like one, you know, most of that is just more mana. So you're not even increasing the amount of usable cards, really, by that much. But also, well, 100 cards, singleton specifically, right? Because you cannot have any duplicates. Singleton, 100 cards for Commander. What that, to me, mostly does is... it kind of pushes niche decks to the side, right? Because if you're making an elves deck or a goblin deck, or you know, something like mechanically more generic, I'm a drain deck, I'm like graveyard shenanigans, you're gonna have so many cards you won't even know where to begin. Except you do, there's like a couple that are just so good, you know, they're kind of unavoidable. But let's say you want to make a little more of a niche deck, you know, a little more, I don't know. Like, for example, I have a deck that is just Chandra Planeswalkers and Chandra related stuff. It's a functional deck. It's not like a gimmick deck. It's a functional deck. It just happens to work well within that team as well. That works because it's 60 cards. It would not work 100 cards, or definitely not as good, because there's just not enough cards to support it being 100 cards. There's just not enough good cards to do that strategy. 60 card deck? Plenty. So, you know, in my opinion, 100 card singleton, kind of, you know, as much as people like to say, you know, Commander's like one of the most varied formats there is, I kind of disagree in a way. I'm sure there's a lot of diversity, but it does feel like some decks are just, you cannot ever make them as good. What was the grab button again? It's R2. I pressed R1. Fuck! Took a guess and lost. Wait, we're going down? Shit. Pretty sure EH is on their cards because Highlander was on their cards. Yeah, but it's called Commander now, and it's dog shit. I do like Singleton, but not for 100 cards. I think Singleton has its charms in the sense that, you know, it does make decks a little less, and I'm saying a little less over time. This argument kind of got worse because they keep printing the same shit over and over. But like, the idea is with 4 of each card, you can like really narrow down on a specific strategy and just have it do that thing really efficient, really well. Whereas the idea with Singleton would be like, you know, that picture perfect exact combo is going to be less likely to be drawn. Because you're going to only have 1 of each, and then the rest of your deck is going to have to be stuff that's adjacent, but not exactly that thing. But then, of course, they started developing the game for Commander, and now you get cards that do like 20 things, so many duplicate effects. It's, I don't know, it's, especially for popular deck types, there's now so much shit that's just the same thing, that's like either slightly better, slightly worse. But at this point, there's combos where there's like, you can have a deck with like 15 combo starters and like 15 enders, all different cards, because they just kept printing the same shit over and over, or the same effects combined on one card, stuff like that. Look at me with my Llanowar Elves, Finned Horn Elves, Elvish Mystic, and Avasar's Pilgrim. Exactly. That is definitely part of the problem as well. But that's because they printed a lot of that stuff. You know? And again, that also goes to the argument that I made with the Hunter cards. Some strategies are just gonna have a deeper pool of cards, which means the same effects are gonna come up more, which means you can narrow down into a specific strategy way more. You know, like an Elves deck is very easy to develop in Singleton compared to, I don't know, what's like a creature type that's not as powerful. Let's say Tree Folk. I'm sure you can build a Tree Folk deck. Well, you're not gonna have as much freedom and choice as you would have with an Elves deck. Whatever. 100 cards is bunk. So stupid. Also, 40 life. Get the fuck out of here. Dude. 40 life. The only thing 40 life does is make games longer. Like it does not add anything to the game. You know, in fact, it makes the game worse because there's plenty of cards where paying a life cost is supposed to be a downside, but if your health is doubled, you know, the downside is halved. You know, losing 2 health to a Shockland was intended to be 10% of your health pool, but now it's only 5%. That's dog shit. I'm a Commander hater. I'll play it, you know, I'll play it. Don't get me wrong. I would still rather play the game than don't play the game. But that doesn't mean I don't have criticisms. Yeah, 40 life is ass. In fact, for the longest time, my play group, we've been playing for so long. And I guess since original... must be like Lorwyn or something around that. We started playing like a multiplayer. Even before that, I think we were already playing with 3 players with like 10th edition, right? Mind you, Commander in its, you know, like marketed form didn't exist yet. So what we did was just use normal decks, free for all, normal health pools. And to this day, we still play that way because, you know, our group still plays. If we play with that group, we still just use normal decks in multiplayer with 4 people. And matches can still take like an hour. Easy. With 20 health. And like decks where you can build 4-offs and what, like just normal... I guess you would say, let's call it legacy decks. I don't think we're using a lot of vintage stuff. But, you know, if we were to put a ban list on it, it would probably be legacy. That's how we play with that group, and it's perfectly fine. Like, that's the crazy thing. It works perfectly well for multiplayer. 20 health is plenty. Some matches take 2 hours with 20 health. Like, it's perfectly fine. You don't need all that shit. I have to go read some old Elementary articles, but I'm pretty sure 40 life and 21 general damage was there for that. The commander damage is also not, that's dog shit. Nobody wants that. Why is commander damage a thing? Now I know why it's a thing. It had to do with like one of those old dragon leaders having 7 attack, which means 3 attacks would kill someone, and that was like important or meaningful for some reason. Here's my actual scorching hot take. I think when Wizards of the Coast wanted to introduce their own format that was based on Commander called Brawl, the original one, not the fucking monstrosity we have now in Arena. I think they got really close. I think that was a better format than actual Commander. I think they identified what was cool about Commander and what wasn't cool about Commander and fixed it. And people did not want to do it because, you know, Commander. Yeah! All the Elder Dragons were 7-7 or some shit. Yeah, that's where the 21 comes from. Which again, at this point in time, you can do so much more damage so fast with the way they've developed all these commander cards. Commander damage, they can delete it. I don't think a lot of people would actually... Like, dude, you have infect cards. You have poison, which also is not adjusted to the new life total. Poison damage is still, oh, you got 10 poison counters, you're dead. That is so fucking easy to do. It's crazy. So commander damage, obsolete for sure. 60 card free for all was how they thought people were playing multiplayer until 2010. I mean, people were playing that way. I also completely missed the EDH thing. I only got to know that format when Wizards introduced like the first Commander Precon. That's when I learned there was something else. But yeah, I feel like, you know, again, scorching hot take. I think the original Brawl was much closer to a format that I would enjoy than what Commander now is. In fact, I think the biggest mistake they made with Brawl was make it rotating. Because Brawl, you know, if you don't know, you know, refreshing your memory, was 60 cards, singleton. You had a commander, which could be a legendary creature or a planeswalker. Not exactly, you know, that, I don't know if that was the best idea, but whatever. The intent, I think, was a good idea. So you had a leader. Deck building was the same as commander in terms of like color identity and all that nonsense. But it was 60 cards singleton. So, you know, one commander, 59 cards. And you had, I believe, 25 live or 30. I don't know. Which again, I'm not saying it was perfect, but at least it's lower than 40. But again, the biggest mistake was they made it rotating. Wait, another scorching hot take. Actually, in fact, current day standard, you know, standard where there's like 7 sets a year coming out. I'm sorry, a rotating singleton format would actually work now. They were just too soon. Brawl was too soon. That's why it sucked. They were too soon. Brawl now would have been way better. I also think the problem is Commander was so popular and it was community driven. You know, not playing Commander anymore and playing Brawl, it's kind of like, you know, handing it to the corporation, you know. So that was never gonna happen. But objectively, I think if you take the original Brawl rules and remove the rotation, call it Legacy Brawl, Historic Brawl, whatever you want to call it. Just basically do Commander with a 60 card deck and no Commander damage and 25 or 30 health. I don't remember how much they picked. I think it was, or it was like 25 in 1v1 and 30 in multiplayer or something. whatever. Lower life total, singleton 60 card with a commander, no commander damage. In my opinion, objectively more fun to play. Deck building is more interesting because you need to make more hard cuts. Niche strategies have more of a chance because there's like, you know, the amount of cards that like need to contribute to your strategies is going to be lower in the 60 card deck. So niche strategies with less useful cards, with a less amount of useful cards, I mean, have more of a chance to, you know, like actually make said deck. I don't know, I feel like they could have fucking nailed it, but you know. You could probably try and play Commander with only standard cards and run those draft commons, dude. In a moment of peak capitalism by Hasbro, they actually introduced a new format recently. It's called you and 3 of your friends go to the local game store. Each of you buy a booster box, and then you open that entire box and make a commander deck out of it. Like, actually, that's an official format now. You know, it's like, oh, it's a sealed alternative, you know? Because people were not complaining that draft and sealed was too expensive. No. In fact, they wanted to spend more money on like a one-time event. They wanted to spend like $150. And I'm lying, because there's so much Universes Beyond now, and the price of Universes Beyond is higher, even though it's standard now. So a booster box is like $200, you know? Oh, let me quickly go this weekend to the local game store and blast $200 out of my fucking nose. Just to play one game of shitty Commander. It's like a Commander game with worse deck, so it takes even longer. I've heard of various League attempts over the years, like Sealed Deck Plus, where you add a pack each week or something. Yeah, there's been attempts, like multiple card games have done this, Magic as well. I think that's a good way if, like, let's say as a store, you do like a, hey, come learn the game event, and everyone who joins in with the learning thing, you give them like, you know, they buy like a starter deck or whatever form that takes with Magic these days. And then, you know, and yeah, every week there's like a day you're gonna play with all the newbies with their starter deck, and then like each week you add like a booster or two, and that's how they learn deck building slowly but surely. I think that's a good way for new players. For older and franchise players, it's probably a little boring at times. I don't know. Where is it? Oh, also, if I'm allowed to make a really petty criticism of Commander, is that 100 cards, even single sleeve, I've yet to see a single person not look like a dumbass trying to shuffle their deck. I am not joking when I say I've not seen a single person ever shuffle a 100 card deck without looking like a clumsy goof. Including me. It's not easy. 60 cards shuffles really well, right? 100 cards, it's like, I guess if you have big hands, you might be able to do it easily, but you know, I guess I just don't know that many big hand people, because everyone I've ever seen shuffle a Commander deck, it's always like, you know, like, or like on the table, like because it's all falling apart. Or even worse, this kind of triggers something in me, even though like in the practical sense it's really negligible, but it kind of triggers something in me where people take like half of the deck, they shuffle that half, put it aside, take the other half, shuffle that side, and then at the end they just mash the two, call it a day. Oh, I don't like that one bit. I know, again, in the practical sense, especially if the deck has already been played and shuffled multiple times, it probably, like, you know, it's theoretically not random enough, but in the practice, you know, you're probably not gonna notice, but it still fucking triggers me. I don't know. Man, if you only watch this stream, you would have no idea that I actually do enjoy playing Magic. Oh. Dude, I am dying on this hill, dude. I'm dying on this hill. I swear to God. If I get a couple of people to just be like, hey, take like your favorite commander deck and just cut it down to 60 cards and let's play with like 30 health or even fucking 20 health. I'm willing to bet we're gonna have just as good of a time as you would with your commander deck, except we get 2 more matches in an evening. Because again, commander, it's all fun and games, but if a game lasts longer than an hour, you know? But my Felidar Sovereign. Is that the cat that goes infinite? It's been a while since I've heard that name. It you know, it's recognizable. I think that was like the white creature you could blink or something like that. That's the upkeep when you have 40 or more left. Ugh. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, the big cat. Yeah. That's another thing that fucking breaks it, you know? Like, dude, fucking, what's the name? Sarah Ascendant? Oh, this 1-drop creature becomes a 6/6 flyer if you have 30 health. Yeah, that's fucking busted in Commander. Dude, or my biggest pet peeve, when a match is like, you're already like an hour in, and like finally someone's actually gearing up to go for like a kill shot or something the next turn. You know, they have like the creature power and whatever. And then like some dweeb on the table who's clearly not gonna win in like at least a turn or 6, right? They need some building up to do. Then they're like, let me blast a board wipe. I'm like, oh my fucking god, dude. What is happening? He's aiming at all the wrong. You hate long games, but you also hate board wipes that could make a game faster? No! Dude, board wipes? That's what I'm talking about. I hate it when people do a board wipe and they have like no clear winning strategy in mind. They just wipe the board because, oh, I think I'm about to lose next turn, so I'm just gonna lengthen the game by another hour. Like, no, I feel like if you board wipe, you better win in like a turn or two. Like, like of course, without, you know, interruption, let's put it that way. Like if you do a board wipe and if everyone else is like, let's not do anything, you should win in like 2 turns. I'm sorry. If you can't do that, just take the L, die. Let the match be over. All right. Man, I feel like I feel like I want to prove my point. I need to find people who are willing to do fucking brawl, but like not rotating. Though, in fact, let me be real honest. I have no interest in playing standard right now. So if someone would say to me, hey, at the local game store this Friday, you know, we're playing a bracket of standard brawl, I might be fucking down. But actually only because there's no meta. Like, I think if that was actually like a played format, there'd probably still be like, you know, you could run Vivi as a commander. It will probably go broken beyond anything the game currently has in standard, but you know, I would be really curious what brawl decks will look like now. But you can go infinite with airbending and some card that makes casting from exile cost 2 list. Yeah, but you can do that in normal standard as well. I don't know. Because of the way I deck build in Magic, like my preferred type of deck building is around teams and characters. I'm not so much of a mechanic builder, in the sense that I'm not going to build a deck that's like, oh, this is like a life drain deck. You know, that's usually not the type of deck I would build. However, I would make a deck that's like, hey, this is built around, you know, all these types of vampires, for example. And I just found a lot of them that have like some kind of draining component, so I build around that. Then I could have a drain deck, but it would start from a thematical point of view. So for me, playing a game that has a commander, be it actual commander or brawl or whatever, like that is my preferred way of deck building. Dude, fucking doing it the wrong guys again. That's crazy. You know what's even a crazy thing? I wonder if it's still... Maybe they fixed it by now. Brawl, right? Brawl is technically a supported format. In the sense that, you know, Brawl is based on standard. So as long as standard exists, technically, the Brawl format exists. And as far as I know, they haven't like outright deleted the format. Right? Let's see, all formats. But so here's a fun fact. Let me see. So I'm on the website Magic the Gathering, you know, magic.wizards.com. Actually, can I see if I can pull this up? Hey Jamie, pull this up. Bam! They have like a website of form of popular commander, standard. I mean, dude, look at all these formats. By the way, there's so many that like who the fuck? Like Pioneer. What the fuck is Pioneer? 60 plus, 2 players, 20 minutes. Spreadsheet of new strategies. Card did not rotate. Okay, so Legacy. Oh, it's like modern, but more modern. Okay. Anyway, Brawl. Here we go. Boys, do you want to play Brawl? I guess we'll need a 100 card deck and play digitally on Magic the Gathering Arena. Brawl on their official website is just referring to Arena. They've deleted any mention of like, well, there's a paper version and a digital version which are named the same but are different formats. Isn't that really not confusing and cool? Right? Because like, to me, I'm on the website of Magic the Gathering. Unless specifically mentioned, this should be about the paper game. And I'm pretty sure this format, Brawl 100 cards, this only exists on Arena. There is no official paper Brawl 100 card format. That doesn't exist, as far as I know. And in fact, even crazier, not only when you click on Brawl on the website, they just show you the Arena version. You know, there's nothing else here that's like original Brawl or anything. No, this is it, right? Maybe we can hold on. Constructed 4+. I don't know. Game duration. What? What the fuck is Old Breaker? 60 cards, 3 to 5. Build around your favorite planeswalker. Oh, this thing. Oh shit, this was bootleg Commander. This is like this is like nothing of the good things of Commander and only the bad shit. Wait, is it the Singleton? No, right? Yeah, it doesn't mention Singleton. So anyway, what I wanted to show is if I go to, where is it? Learn. How to play. I need, what I want is the comprehensive rule set. I want to have like the rules. Do they even link to the fucking rules of the game anymore? Isn't that wild? How is there not a link to the rules of the game under Learn Magic? Where to start? How is there not comprehensive rules here? That's crazy to me. Rules. Dude, it's hidden down below? That's crazy. Comprehensive rules. PDF. Now look at this bad boy. In a 2-player brawl game, each player... Oh, look! In the comprehensive rules, the original brawl rules are still there. Yeah, C rule, brawl option. Let's go to brawl option. Brawl is an option for a different style of commander game. Hold on, I'm gonna increase the size because we're reading for ants. Brawl uses the normal game rules with the following. So, Brawl is designed to be a variant of Commander. Standard format. Legendary must be... They even updated it to the fucking new thing. So, well, they're updating the Brawl rules? That is fucking insane. What a... Boys, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. The official Brawl rules are still in the rules. So you can play Brawl as originally intended. That is a supported format in the rules. But on their own website, you can't find those rules. Even though they have a link to a Brawl page, I'm sorry, just on that page, make a fucking split. Be like, Paper Brawl is this. Arena Brawl is this. Also, why don't they fucking call it Commander on Arena? Just fucking call it Commander. I don't know why they call it Brawl. It's literally Commander on Arena. I guess you have no Commander damage, but nobody liked Brawl. Yeah, Brawl was kind of like rejected. Most people said, well, it's because it's rotating. And at that point in time, that was true. Brawl was a very solved game very quickly, if you will. I think now, like an actual standard Brawl would probably be a little bit better because the card pool in standard is so much bigger compared to then. Because Brawl was introduced, God, like a decade ago at this point. It got introduced with, I believe, the first Eldraine set. But they're still updating the rules though. That kind of blows my mind. The fact that it was still in here, I was like, yeah, they're not gonna delete it because that's gonna be more annoying than anything to delete all the entries and mentions of Brawl. But then that they actually go and update this portion. Maybe they just did a find and replace for the Commander portion. But yeah, you can absolutely still play. Oh my god, here it is. Commander Draft. Wait. Hold on, Draft? Uses Commander Legend. Oh, that was like something specifically for that set. Oh. Yeah, and they just put in this like, yeah, Commander damage doesn't count. Honestly, dude, if they would just make... Dude, they could have just... When they introduced Brawl, literally all they had to do, they were so horny for a rotating format. If they fucking just were like, hey, there's Brawl, there's standard Brawl, and there's like normal Brawl, historic Brawl, whatever you want to call it. They're like, hey, we made a 60, and just advertise it like this. Hey, we made a 60 card commander thing. You can play it as commander. It's just 60 cards, no commander damage. Or you can do the standard variant, in which you only build from standard sets. That would have gone over so much better. But because they were so insistent on it needs to be rotating, and also we're like heavily pushing to try and replace commander at that point in time, it just like got like rejected completely by the community. Is Vanguard in the comprehensive rules? Ooh, I don't know. I'm not gonna pull them up again. But yeah, I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet if you sat down, took a commander deck, just slimmed it down to 60 cards, and played with your friends like that, with like 30 health, whatever the official rules were for Brawl. Just literally do Brawl without the rotating. I would say that is a 100% improvement over Commander. Just saying. I have a better idea. Fucking burn all your magic cards. Play 3 1v1 matches round robin. But like at the local game store, sure, right? If you're like kitchen table and you and 3 friends are gathered, I'd rather play free for all. But dude, I'd just normal decks 20 health free for all is still better than Commander. I'm sorry. Jesus, I'm being stun locked here. Don't burn that shit. Stuff's still worth money. True. Also, like, as much as there's like a lot of shit in terms of like universes beyond and all that stuff, like the old cards are still fucking cool. In fact, I last week started building a cube with only cards from the world Innistrad. Now, Innistrad has had like, there've been 2 Innistrad like 3 times. 3 different sets have been there. So in total, I mean 3 blocks. So in total, there's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets worth of Innistrad. So you can build like a really fun, you know, interesting cube. And dude, I don't want to be that guy, but fuck, man. Going through those old cards, the fucking art, everything about it is just so much better, dude. It's just so much better. Damn. Whoa. Okay. Unblockable. I see some of the old frame new prints and they just look wrong to me. I personally also don't like him. Not necessarily because it looks wrong or anything. I've never been a super fan of the old frame, but to me it's also like, it's like the new cards are the new cards. Like if printing them in the old style is like, it's almost like fan service for people who are longing for that style, but like also not committing to it. Wait, hold on. I vastly prefer the pre-8 frame. The current year digital art looks wrong in it. Chop, 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 chop. But I feel like they also misuse the old art frame now. Perfect example. I think last year, or was it at the start of this year? Who even knows at this point? There's so much product being flung at your head. They did Innistrad Remastered. So basically like a set, a best of set of everything Innistrad they've ever done. Right? Really cool, you know, except for the price, you know, overpriced, but the product was cool, right? Let's put it that way. But then they're like, okay, but there's also some cards that we're not gonna print in this set. We're going to print them, but only in the old art frame, not the normal art frame. And then of course it's cards like Avacyn or like these really needed reprints because the single price is like out of control. And then they're like, yeah, no, we're not gonna just put it in the normal rare slot or mythic slot. We're gonna put it in this extra, even rarer slot so we can artificially like keep the price high. And that to me is like, ugh. Like, I don't want Avacyn in an old art because the old Avacyn was not in an old art. That was post the old art. I want it in the original, in the frame it existed in. Wait, hold on. What the? This game is so dog shit. Chain link. What's that? Oh, okay, okay, okay. I like Planar Chaos and Future Sight, but in retrospect, all that shit was probably a mistake. And I mean the frame treatments, not the complexity of the design. These low looking cards now. Yeah, Commander design, baby. If your deck is made of singletons, every single card needs to do everything. You know what's probably the worst of it? Like, I don't mind a card doing multiple things, but the amount of cards that now both have the setup and the payoff, that kind of bothers me. And that is so apparent when you, again, if you look at older cards, you know, if you're building a cube and looking at older stuff, so many cards are like, when a creature dies, do this. And that's it, right? It can be a very powerful effect, but it's like, yeah, it does the thing. And then it's up to you to find shit to put in that deck that, you know, makes shit die, so that triggers. But these days, that card would not only have something happen when something dies, but also have like some way to sacrifice stuff, kill something. Like, so many cards now are just setup and payoff in one. I hate that. And I get why they do it, because again, Commander, you draw one card, you don't ever want it to be a dud. And if the card does it itself, then, you know, it's never a dud, right? Did I miss anything there? I feel like I missed something there. For me, it's mostly all of the bad shit that happens with Magic the Gathering. Like, they do plenty of cool shit as well, right? But they're starting to do more and more bad shit instead of good, so it's harder to see the good. And also, like, I'm so enfranchised for so long, but the game is clearly going in a different direction. It's clearly going from this cool original world, you know, which has its flaws, has its positives, whatever. And they're clearly going, or I guess at this point firmly are, just Fortnite, you know. There's no meaning to any of it. It's just like, haha reference, you know. And it's sad to see, because the game I started loving back in the day is not the game that's on shelves today. It plays mechanically the same, but it's not the same game anymore. And that's why I complain so much about it. That's why it hits me, man. Such a big part of my life. Luge. And that's also why, for the first time in like 20 years of playing Magic, I legitimately am in the process of switching to a different game. Which, I mean, I could have never imagined, like, even 5 years ago. But you know, another game pops up and is doing well, and it's doing all the things you used to like about Magic. Yeah, it's enticing, for sure. The Hayabusa text? What's in the text? What the no, actually, what's the Hayabusa text? Empower Dragon Sword? Oh. Let's equip it. I like it. Sure, downside, but who cares? Downsides are fun. There we go, fully stocked up Busa. Oh, damn, it's 11 p.m. I guess if it's just a boss fight now, we'll rock the boss fight. Let's use a damage buff. Sploosh. Kind of funny how they're just like, let's do the game twice. Just different character, but you do the same shit, like literally to a T. I thought like maybe we do one, or you know, to show like, oh, this is what they've been doing. Like, oh, haha, funny. And it's like, well, no, you're gonna do all of them exactly like Yakumo, but in the, you know, the other way around. It's like, all right.
なぜ竜は私なんかの心配をするの？私は黒竜を蘇らせてしまった張本人の方。お前はアキレスに利用されていただけだ。
If it's good enough for DMC4, it's good enough for Ninja Gaiden 4. Damn.
行くぞ。
Damn. They made the original thing, and when they first started showing it off, it's like, well, people don't like Yakumo. They want Hayabusa back. And they're like, shit, we only made like one mission with Hayabusa. They're like, fuck it, we'll redo the entire game. Just reuse the assets, the bosses, everything, you know, and just put Hayabusa in it. Because doesn't it feel that way when the way you're unlocking skills and stuff with Yakumo, there's all these points and choosing and whatever, and with Hayabusa it's like you find it in crates. It's like, really? That's odd. I feel like this is almost patched on later. They're like, yeah, shit, people want to play as Hayabusa, let's put it in. Maybe not, you know, maybe they're like, well, that's how it was in the original games. You kick open a chest and you get a new skill. Maybe they wanted to emulate that. Who knows? But it is kind of funny. No. Just make a game without Yakumo in the first place and paste him on later on. Now, I understand why they want to make a new main character. Actually, I don't. They didn't need to do that at all. Ninja Gaiden's been gone for so long. Or I guess, you know what? Maybe I get it in a way, you know? Because if you take Hayabusa as the main character and then you want to change stuff around, that's going to be sensitive. Some people don't. Like, look at the things they've changed about this game. I've seen people talk so much shit about this game on like Twitter and stuff where I'm like, dude, the games are not that different. I'm sure if you really look at the fucking nitty gritty of it, yes, combos and shit are different in this game, yada, yada, yada. It really isn't that big of a deal. Imagine if they just did not do Yakumo and just had all that blood shit with Hayabusa. God, people would be... they would fucking destroy this game. I think the fact that they used Yakumo as a vessel to explore other mechanics a little bit, and then they give you Hayabusa to be like, this is more like it used to be, huh? But then, of course, a little bit of the new skills are in there. Could have made Honoka Gaiden true. They could make a game with just all the DOA ninjas, you know? Why make a game with only Hayabusa? Just be like, hey, the ninja gang is rescuing, you know, whatever. There's 4 enemies or like 5 enemies. Let's split up and each go to a different area in the world and beat a fiend, right? Area 1, you're playing as fucking Ayane. Then you're playing as Ryu. Then you're playing as Kasumi. Then fucking Hayate. Whatever, right? They could pull that off. And then the final, dude, then the final fucking thing, you make it extra spicy and difficult, but you can swap out the ninja in mid-battle. You have like a button where you tag another ninja in, because now they're all fighting together. Oh, that would go fucking hard. So Team Ninja, if you're listening, that one's free. You can do that. That one's completely free. Ninja Gaiden 5, just put all the DOA ninjas in it. Give each their own section. And then at the end, tag team that shit. Where's a Marvel Ultimate Alliance game with all the DOA ninjas? Yup. Feel people exaggerate the differences between these games way too much anyway. Like if you think Ninja Gaiden 2 is 10 out of 10, Sigma 2 is not like it's not a 2 out of 10 a lot of people say. That is true. People are like, well, Ninja Gaiden Black was the best version ever. And Sigma, 100% dog shit. And it's like, I mean, there are things that are definitely worse. I think mostly the biggest crimes, if you will, about the Sigma versions of the games is they're kind of just too long. I think that's the biggest crime. They're kind of too long. They add stuff, specifically Sigma 1, all the Rachel stuff. It's too much. It's cool in the moment, right? But the game really drags on with all that extra. They also made some of the encounters like really long, really tedious. So it's like, you know, they could have done without that. They're not a bad game. Like if someone's like, hey, I want to get into Ninja Gaiden. I've never played them. Should I just buy the Master Collection for like $10? You're not going to say no because it's the Sigma versions. You're going to be like, hell yeah. That's cheap. Get in. Play all of them. And in that same vein, Razor's Edge is also not like a 0 out of 10, you know? I would say at worst, it's like a 6 out of 10, right? Like, it's not... Razor's Edge is so much improved from the original. So much. It's still not like great because it still has like the fucking arm slowdown bullshit, which is just waste of time. But it's definitely a proper game. Oh, and the alchemy guys, bleh, hate fighting them. People need to allow themselves to enjoy games. That will be forever my take. The more I'm alive, I guess, the longer I live, the more I see gaming shit, the more I just realize some people tie things to their personality. Like, I'm a true Ninja Gaiden fan. That's why I need to glaze Ninja Gaiden 2 and Ninja Gaiden Black, and I have to hate everything else because that is part of my personality now. There's so much of that going around. Same with hating specific single player games, hating multiplayer, like all that kind of stuff is just, it's peacocking, you know? It's like, oh, showing off whatever you want to show off. And if it's just talking and you do something different in, you know, the safety of your own house, that's one thing. That's just sad. But then there's plenty of people who like genuinely don't buy specific games because of these made up reasons, whatever, instead of just enjoying shit. Just be open for stuff, enjoy shit. It's that easy. It is that easy. You know, I can start nitpicking about this game, what's different than the original games, and oh, this is worse and that is worse. And there are things here that I feel like are kind of whack. But in the end, I'm having a good time, you know? Sure, the purification, like the what is it called? The purgatory stuff. Yeah, that's kind of, you know, that's pushing the game system in a way where the cracks start showing. It's frustrating, and I vent those frustrations. But then I win, and I'm like, fuck you, bitch. I got it. I overcame the odds, you know? So in the end, it's all worth it. Oh. Ari's the best they could do with the template they had. Yeah, it's definitely... I mean, there's things about the original number 3 where it's like making all the weapons DLC. It's like, why would you do that? That's just, you know, that was not going to go over well. But hey, dude, we're at a point in time. You can buy the Master Collection. It's, you know, that's a great deal. It works on modern platforms. It's, you know, and if you're such a super fan, yeah, you can go into the other versions and, you know, get your kicks there. But the reality is, for most people, if you just want to experience the games, Master Collection is just fine. Those games are all good in those forms. So, you know, who cares? And that extends to all games. If you just complain a little less and allow yourself to enjoy something, you know, if anything, the best thing you can do when you buy a new game is just not read about it online. Just like not at all. Ever. Until you're finished, you have like whatever gut feeling you had about the game, whatever you felt, you've already felt it. And then if you read other people's opinion, it might not color yours. But I feel like I have this with TV shows. Like, for example, what my wife likes doing, if there's a TV show that's like airing one episode per week, you know, especially if there's like some kind of mystery going on or whatever, my wife likes going on Reddit for the specific show you're watching and going to like the thread of like the weekly episode where people are speculating about, oh, what's the mystery? What could happen? Who's this or who's that? And I used to like doing that until I realized I'm kind of ruining my own fun. Because here's the reality. Just by the sheer numbers of the amount of people that might be talking about a show, who might be spitballing theories about where it's going or what you've what they've seen and read between the lines, even by sheer luck, someone's gonna nail it. Someone at some point is gonna have the exact thing that's happening. And if you yourself had not caught on to it yet, now you've read it and it's one of the options. You continue watching the show, turns out it is that one thing. It's not a surprise to you anymore because you've already seen that theory. You know that was one of the possible ways it could go. Whereas if you didn't read it at all, if you figured it out yourself, great, right? But if you didn't figure it out, good, it's a surprise at the end. Even more fun. So I kind of learned for myself to be like, I do not need to, you know, I don't need to read any of that stuff. That's just, you know, that is actively harming my own experience of the thing I actually enjoy by engaging with the community. And I feel that's the exact same way I'm feeling more and more about games, where it's like, there's plenty of games that I buy now where I know there's like a community and there's like all this kind of shit around it, where I'm like, I'm just not gonna look at it. I'm just gonna finish it first, experience and feel and think whatever I feel about the game. And then I might go look at that stuff, but I'm not doing that while I'm in, you know. And sure, you can, you know, there's drive-by. I've seen shit about this game. I have not finished it yet, but I guess you also get better at it over time, where just reading something, someone's opinion is just like, just slides off you. I don't know. I'm definitely more happy when I don't look at all that stuff and just see a trailer or play a demo and be like, I like this, I'm gonna play this. Anyhow, let me wrap this bad boy up for today. Alrighty. Yeah, we made progress. How many chapters is this game? I'm going at a fucking snail's pace, but whatever. Gaiden 4 chapters. Ninja Gaiden 4 has 19 chapters, but that's AI. Is that true? Is Google AI correct? Does it actually have... It actually has 19 chapters. Wait, so we just done... Wait, so it's not that much anymore. Oh. Ooh. If I don't miss a stream next week, we might beat it. That's cool. All right. That's cool. That's something to look forward to. Yeah, good shit. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll be back normally on Monday. Yeah, have a good weekend. And we'll rendezvous back on Monday for more Ninja Gaiden. Hopefully the final week. Then we can go back to Tormented Souls or Tomb Raider or whatever I was playing before. Or play some DOA, actually. Why not? Alright guys, have a good weekend. See ya.